Hello and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm James Currie with the Communication Department. I'm talking to my favorite RDN, Claris Perkins. She is a RDN, which is a registered dietitian nutritionist with MCHD. And we're talking today because today is National Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day. Claris, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I just had to get through all that intro you wrote for me. After that, I'm just fine. Claris, so you are a RDN and you have been here for a while. And so every March is National Nutrition Month. So that doesn't mean 11 months out of the year we just eat whatever we want, right? And we just eat healthy in March, right?
No, for me and my patients, every month is National Nutrition Month.
Yeah. I'm not going to call you from a drive-through, okay? We're having this.
No, but they do that. I get that.
I know you get that. So that's a no-no. So if you're watching, shame on you. Don't do that. Okay, so seriously now, that's hard to do.
Seriously.
But anyway, you guys play an important role for us here at the health department. I mean,
We think
nutrition, huh?
So we think so.
Well, we think so too. That's why you're on Wellness Wednesday. So aside from being a total clown that you are, you're also a pretty good nutritionist. You give good advice. So the last time that you and I spoke, we talked about some of the different things that you can do or people can do when they go in the grocery store, just better make healthier choices, better ways to shop. But we're going to hit it kind of hard here because this is National Nutrition Month. So let's talk about it, especially, okay, your favorite fruit, go.
Oh, this is serious. My favorite fruit. Okay. It would have to be nectarines because you've got like the texture of the peach, but with the skin of the plum. It's just the best of both worlds.
Mine is whatever's on sale.
Oh, come on. You've got to have a flavor preference.
I look for the yellow sticker that says this is about to die tomorrow, so you need to buy it.
You better eat it as you leave the parking lot.
No, I'm kidding. But anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. Yeah, so I'm losing my train of thought. You always do this.
Fruits.
Okay. But anyway, National Nutrition Month. It's important because, I mean, nutrition's tied into everything. It's tied into your overall health. It's tied into your dental health. It's tied into your mental health. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but I mean, it is, if someone is going through stress or anxiety, they're going to binge or they're going to eat comfort foods. And, it's been a while since I had, Bluebell gallon on the couch kind of thing. So, we don't want that, right?
Right.
So what kind of stuff, tips, are you guys telling people during National Nutrition Month?
Well, the theme of National Nutrition Month this year is going to be like customize your plate. So I know we've all seen the My Plate. It's the picture of the plate divided with your fruit and veggies on one side and your protein and your grains on the other side. And the theme being that this could really fit into anyone's preferences or lifestyles. So I've mostly, and I do this with patients anyways, but focusing on which foods you like that fit into this, because when it comes down to it, within those varieties of fruits, veggies, proteins, and grains, it should be what you like. Food should be enjoyed and you should look forward to eating it. So if you're not planning or buying things that you like, you're just buying them because they're healthy, then I think that kind of takes the fun out of it.
Well, we also know that even though something is labeled healthy, it's not necessarily healthy either, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
So there's a lot of parents out there with picky eating children. So what do you say to those parents when you speak to them about nutrition and their kids?
That's really hard. I'm not a parent, so I don't personally know what that feels like. But what I have advised people to do is I I tell moms, dads, whoever, please just make one meal. If we start making 2 or 3 meals for different preferences, that really becomes a huge commitment that I feel like once we take that step, it's hard to come back from that. And I try to encourage them to have things that they plan, you know, that each kid will eat. So if you know that your kid will eat chicken, you know your kid will eat peas, okay, then maybe you're going to take a chance with sweet potatoes. Well, you know they're going to eat something and you've got your kind of trial food. Have the thing that they're picky about because it takes, sometimes 11 times of exposure for a kid just to see a food before they'll even taste it. You got to taste it a couple times for, if you like it. So just keep putting those things on the plate because that exposure is really the best thing that you can do for a picky eater.
So parents would actually set the good example for their kids, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they'll see you eat it. They'll hopefully see siblings eating it, and that is contagious.
Well, I've probably got to be the worst example for Brussels sprouts.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I I've tried them and I faked loving them, but honestly, I didn't like them.
I love a Brussels sprout, so I can't relate to that. Having
Give
Brussels sprouts this week, actually,
give me
tomorrow.
broccoli or something else, but
Broccoli and Brussels sprouts are in the same family. I'm sure you would like them.
all right, I will revisit them soon, I promise.
There you go.
And I'll stop kicking Brussels sprouts to the curb. I'll see where they fit on my plate.
Well, they've been hot and trendy the last couple of years, so it would only be in if you went for the Brussels.
Well, I like to be ahead of trends, so maybe they're out now.
You saw it here first, National Nutrition Month.
You heard, yeah. I think April will be National Brussels Sprout Month or something.
April Fools. We all love Brussels. Don't listen to James.
Yeah, give them a try. Okay. But anyway, you guys, you play an important role for us here. But not only do you work with us here in public health, there's RDNs also that work at hospitals. They work at private physicians' office. They work at fitness centers. There's some that work in schools, help with the lunch program. There's some that even work in the food industry to help plan menus. And when you go dine out to eat and you see, a logo next to a meal that says this is a healthy choice, that's probably been pre-selected by one of you people out there that are RDNs. Also, you're in research, researching how to get the most nutritional content out of a food. I mean, not just talking to me on Wellness Wednesday. You guys are all over the place, busy about nutrition. I do know that.
Yeah.
And there's a science behind it too. So you and like other RDNs, you all have degrees, and you all went to school and you studied this stuff. You studied food. How did you do that in school?
How did I do it?
Well, I mean,
or why did I do it?
Okay. Why did you do it?
Well, for me, I can't speak for all the other dietitians, but when I was in high school, I was involved with the track and cross country teams. And I learned that nutrition was such a big part of how I was going to perform. And so I originally just got really interested in that connection between nutrition and performance. And when I got to the University of Alabama, Roll Tide, I realized that people actually go to school for food. I also didn't realize that this was a career path or a major. So I just signed up for Nutrition 101 and kind of saw what the path was with the curriculum and the career from there. And I just never looked back from it. And I've loved it ever since.
Well, I spoke not too long ago on Wellness Wednesday to Dr. Bowie, dentist, and we kind of touched a little bit about dental nutrition, also our dental health fitting in with regular nutrition. So I mean, like we mentioned earlier, you cross over to a bunch of different things. So I mean, if you're eating the wrong things, your body's going to tell you, your body's going to react differently.
Yeah.
You're going to be sluggish and slow, and you're going to sleep longer, and you don't need those extra calories. So I mean, what do you think the main part of your day is? Do you think it's education or awareness, or what is it?
I think the biggest part of my interactions with patients is making this seem as simple and easy as possible.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest tool for that really goes back to the plate that we kind of mentioned, is that all the foods that I mentioned are very simple, normal foods, fruits, vegetables, grains or starches, and protein. And I think once you just break it down to its bare starting place, it becomes a lot more manageable. Um, Trying to guide patients more towards real foods like the ones I just mentioned, and less towards our more processed foods, we'll just call them
Mhm.
that. Um, that's what I really spend most of my day doing, is seeing, okay, how can we do more of these whole foods and less of these, I call them treats.
Mhm. Well, I know also too, like the education part of it, the food label can be kind of confusing to people. So
Yeah.
I know you've had a lot of people, that you've counseled, that you've helped them be able to interpret the label. I mean, that's most important, is giving someone the tools and education for them to carry with them when they go in the grocery store and they do their own shopping.
Yeah, and honestly, we could talk about the label for a full hour. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it would depend on what kind of food you're looking for, what part of the meal this plays in. But I think there are two just quick things that you could look at a label that could be really enlightening. The first one is the serving size, or the servings per container. I was talking to a patient this morning. She was like, "Yeah, I eat cashews. I love them. They're what I snack on." I said, "Well, how much do you eat?" She goes, "The container." And so I looked up the container and I said,
Mhm.
"There are 30 servings in this container." And she
Mhm.
just had no idea, because cashews, like I mentioned, that's a healthy, normal food, but it's how much of these foods are we eating? So
Mhm.
I like to say, if you look at the servings per container, that's how many days I want the container to last. So if this is a jar of nuts and it says 30, okay, let's try not to need a new one until next month. The other thing is going to be the
Mhm.
ingredients. I find that the smaller this list is, probably the better quality this food is. Um, Once it starts to get real long, that's where we see those more highly processed, kind
Mhm.
of put them in that treats category.
What did you have for breakfast?
So I have eaten the same thing for breakfast. I'm like a toddler where I get into food lags. I love the same thing and I'll just eat it until I hate it. And I've been on this one. I make breakfast quiches.
Mhm.
I like the frozen pie crust from Publix. I've tried all the other ones. I don't like them. I like the Publix brand. I have sauteed spinach in the bottom. I dice up some cherry tomatoes. I put goat cheese in it, and then I put 10 eggs in it, and then I cut it into fourths.
And that
So,
lasts for
4 days.
several days? Okay.
Yep.
All right. You cut it into fourths and it lasts a day. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Servings per container.
Yeah. Yeah. I made a mistake earlier. I said you were my favorite RDN, but you're my second favorite.
What does that mean? Who's your favorite?
I was trying to make you laugh. Claris,
Rude.
yeah. Well, Claris, we always a pleasure. You always keep me laughing and entertained. And I know you have fun with your job. Um, we'll talk again later this month, since it's National Nutrition Month. We'll talk about the food label. That way you can bring some labels in and we'll just talk about the first few lines on the label. How about that?
Okay. That sounds fun.
Claris, always a pleasure. Um,
Thank you, James.
thank you.
Go
Take
eat
care of
something
yourself.
good.
Yeah, I could lie to you and tell you that I'm having Brussels sprouts tonight, but I'm not. Claris, thanks
Maybe
for
next
being on
time.
Wellness Wednesday.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
James. Bye.